What happened last night? What happened to the Buccaneers last night? Mike Evans was back. He had a beautiful game, 100-something yards. I was so happy. Go Falcons. Unbelievable. We'll get into all of it. Of course, I'm going to try to make a sense of that. And then, of course, the entire NFC South, the entire NFC picture, complicated. We'll get it for you. We also are going to talk a little AFC Colts. Philip Rivers, the story, of course, but I talked to one of his wide receivers. Michael Pittman Jr. played with Philip his rookie year. Michael Pittman Jr. loves Daniel Jones, loves this team, has seen it all, been through it all. And they got a huge, huge matchup up against the second best defense in the land on Sunday. So we're going to talk to Michael Pittman Jr. Happy to share that conversation. And thank you to Oral-B for the time with Michael Pittman Jr. And then we have former Bronco, current Denver radio analyst Nick Ferguson, who's going to try to convince me somehow that the Broncos should be underdogs, shouldn't be. I don't quite know what's going on with that huge matchup against the Packers. Big show. Nick Ferguson, he'll be here to talk some Broncos. Was a Bronco. Underdogs against the Packers is about the best thing that Sean Payton could have asked for Christmas, in my opinion. Santa put under the tree this little bulletin board vibe to fire my team up, because we should not be underdogs. We're pretty evenly matched on both sides, and we're home. So bite me. And I cannot wait to see what they have in store. I want some more Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton connection, that defense. And that is a game that I am sad that I'm not going to be at. And I don't like it. I wouldn't care how cold it is. That Broncos Packers game is the one. Last night was crazy. We'll talk to Michael Pittman Jr. We've got Colts Seattle. We'll get you guys the slate, everything you need to know. Some great picks over on FanDuel Sportsbook as well. And we're going to hit some college as usual. You're a college show sometimes when we have guests like this. Wizard Josh Pate is going to be here. Future commissioner? I don't know. But who should win the Heisman race? I also don't know. So we'll get some thoughts from him. If you guys have any questions for the Wizard, that is Josh Pate, let me know. We started the call this morning, the show call, and Hamilton just goes, I guess we should talk about whatever that was last night. And I started laughing because it's like, what actually was this Bucs-Falcons situation? And it's not to dismiss what Kirk Cousins and Bijan and Kyle Pitts did in this game. They were unbelievable. They deserve a ton of love. But I cannot focus on that, because this was about the Bucs. And this is one that you're going to remember. It's going to hurt. It's going to leave a mark. And you're going to remember it forever. And I love this team. I keep waiting for them to respond to this close game, respond to this thing. You have Baker, you have the pieces. Mike Evans is back, but I'm going to vent a little bit. I love this team so much that I think I've earned the right to vent a little bit, because this is a loss that goes into the inexcusable column in all of my years of doing this at home. Oh gosh, in front of a national streaming audience, up 14 in the fourth. How does this happen? The Falcons gave you 19 penalties, okay? You have your Hall of Fame receiver back, and he gives you a performance for the ages. One that will be on his highlight reel when he's going to Canton. You have 2 chances to recover fumbles that would ice the game. Your opponent, you get them and corner them and push them into a 3rd and freaking 28 on the final drive. You cannot lose that game. It's impressive that you found a way to lose this game. And I've had overnight to figure this out and cool off. I can't. My voice has gone not from a week in New York. No, my voice has gone from screaming at the television, because this cannot happen. Do I have a silver lining? I don't know if I do. Todd Bowles, do you?
You can't sugarcoat that. It was in the fucking excusable, and there's no fucking answer for it. There's no excuse for it. That's what you tell them in the locker room. Look in the fucking mirror.
And it's so much worse that he's wearing the creamsicle. How much cooler would that look if they won the game like they should have? You had every opportunity to. I don't have a silver lining. The only thing I could say is, does this kind of a loss do something? Hamilton, I can't. I can't say this last, you always try to find us. I kind of don't. I'm pretty candid. So I don't know. I'm not really trying to find a silver lining. And this thing is so the silver lining would be, Mike's back, had a brilliant performance, looks healthy. Stud. That's okay. You got me there. I cannot say maybe this will light a fire. What fire do they need lit? They came in to the season, week 1, saying we are a Super Bowl bound team. That is our expectation. They should be getting up for the piddly games against lesser opponents and the bigger games. And these I cannot get behind, convince me, please, of the logic of like, maybe this will turn the heat up. Baker Mayfield does not seem to be a man who needs to be turned up.
Yeah, and not that they shouldn't need this, but that's the only thing you can hope, because it goes one of two ways from here.
Okay.
Especially seeing the way that they received this loss. Mike Evans just beyond frustrated. I think Mike Evans was all of us watching that game. The way it unfolded at the end. And I think what you have to hope for is this brings you together. And Bowles called out, not by name, but called out a couple of his players like not being fully in it. And you got to hope this brings you together, because it's either that or it tears you apart. And from the Bucs perspective, everything they want is still here in front of them if they do get it together here down the stretch. So you have to hope that's the case, because if they do get it together, then this loss ultimately means nothing and we'll kind of forget about it.
So the thought is that it was such an inexcusable, you should have had this, that they're like, it's the way that they lost that will sort of propel them to win these next 3, which they need to. Can you show me the side by side, Hammond? Take me through what this means. I know the Bucs and the Panthers.
Yeah, let's do it. So if the Bucs beat the Panthers in both of these games that you see coming up, then they win the division. That's it. Everything else is a race. They win the division if they win those 2 games against the Panthers. As for Carolina, if they beat the Saints this weekend, they can win the division with a win against Tampa in week 16. They just need to win one of those last 2 games against Tampa. There's also like a really weird scenario here where if the Panthers, let's say the Panthers beat the Saints, stay with me here. They beat the Saints. They lose to the Bucs in week 16. That week 17 game for both teams, that Dolphins game for the Bucs and the Seahawks game for the Panthers, will mean absolutely nothing.
Oh, no
And then
way.
the division's decided in week 18. So it's like, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but like, do you treat that as a bye if you're the coaches? Like, do you sit guys in the week 17 to get ready for week 18? That's going to be a weird, kind of unprecedented scenario if we get there, and I'm kind of secretly rooting for it.
You are. I was going to say, you want the chaos. Only you could break that down. I love it. So okay. So now it's clear the path, what needs to happen. The entire season comes down to week 18 against the Bucs, as we're seeing, Carolina and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going at it. Wild stuff here unfolding. And now if you look at the odds like we are, Tampa's still favored to win the South at -135. So FanDuel Sportsbook is saying there's a better chance the Bucs sweep the Panthers than there is of Carolina winning one of those meetings. Very interesting. Okay, let's go to the Packers here. This is the game. I can't wait to talk to Josh Pate, of course. I can't wait to talk to Nick Ferguson about this one. The Packers, they are 2.5-point faves at Denver. I don't get it. I'm not an overlord, so do with that what you will. Josh Jacobs missed a second straight day of practice. I wonder if that has something to do with it. He's got a bit of a knee issue. Keep your eyes on that over with the Packers ahead of placing bets on FanDuel Sportsbook. Just for me to you, I would keep that in mind. So the Rams 5.5-point faves over the Lions. If you look at the slate, they can clinch a playoff spot with a win. They're the only team in the NFC with a clinching scenario this weekend. By the way, the other 6 playoff spots, you need to play out the final 3 weeks of the year. So Roger Goodell, toast to you this morning. Job well done. The Cowboys 6.5-point faves over the Vikings. If Dallas wins out over Minnesota, the Chargers, the Commanders, and the Giants, which is doable, then their chances to make the playoffs are 55%, and they're still alive here, which we love. Okay, time for our favorite part of the week. It is FanDuel Sportsbook ODDS-ities. What is this? Let me tell you. This is where we highlight like the freak stuff. Like, you want to be where the sick pups are to give you an edge on FanDuel Sportsbook? That's what this segment is for. Just the sick pups who hang around with Hamilton and make this magic happen. Okay, here's the 3 that he tossed up to me. I'm gonna fill you guys in on the odd-cities. The first one, Lions. The banged up Lions secondary. Oh my gosh. It's terrifying. Lions are giving up 318.3 yards per game through the air over the last 3 weeks. That is 115 more per game than the entire league average over that span. Did it play? I didn't hear it. No, it's okay. I didn't hear it. That's okay. We'll fix it. It's called fixing it in post. Everybody, it's fine. Up and Adam show Audible. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. 13. All you need to know: 318.3 yards per game over the last 3 weeks. That's insane. Over 100 yards more per game than the league average. And now, add to that, what's even more frightening, Brian Branch out with the Achilles, as we all know. Kirby Joseph could be back. I mean, Clemmy on Twitter, my Lions gal, I'm crossing my fingers. Do you have intel for me? Let me know. I saw that he missed practice yesterday. That's not great. And who do they have on their docket? Oh, that's nothing scary there. The Rams. Oh my gosh, on the road. Why is Devontae Adams' line? This guy's line for receiving yards is 62.5. This is a glitch in the matrix. This is one of those that, FanDuel, you're going to be mad at me for putting this out there. What is this? Odd City, okay? I know he hasn't put up huge yardage totals this year, but you don't think he's going to have himself a day? No Brian Branch against this defense is giving it up? Give me a break. Do yourselves a favor and smash the over, and you're welcome. If you want to send edible arrangements, or flowers or something to Hamilton, go for it. He saw that line and said, we got to talk about this. 62.5 for Devontae Adams. You got to bang the over. Okay, the next one for you. I know the Eagles have had their issues lately, but after all the hoopla that's gone off this year, A.J. Brown has actually been, get this, the NFL's leading receiver over the last couple weeks. Over how many weeks, I don't know, but I know he's averaging 114 yards per game, and it's been the lone bright spot in what's been going on in Philly. So I don't understand why his line for receiving yards for this week is 63.5 against a Raiders defense that has been bottom 10 as far as yards allowed to the wideout position this year. Take the over on that. How many yards? Sorry, or how many weeks? 3. Sorry, there it's right on your screen, everybody. A.J. Brown leads NFL in receiving over the last 3 weeks. Somehow his line is 63.5 yards. Bang the over. You've got the Raiders defense. Take the over on that. Okay, last one. We've been a bit of we're archivists of the Bengals struggling against tight ends. We've archived this throughout the season. They have now allowed more yards and touchdowns in a single season to this tight end position than any team in the last 20 years. And we still have 4 games to go. Can you imagine this? Isn't this absolutely insane? Take a look at this. I only say 20 years because that's as far back as Hamilton could find. And if Hamilton could go further than that, you know he'd stay up all night to do it. And no, we couldn't go anywhere past it. So it's 20 plus years. That's what it is. We need to go do a deeper dive at some point and go see the microfiche at the local public library. But look at this. Almost 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns in just 13 games to the tight end spot alone. There's no one even in the ballpark on this list. So why am I telling you this on a Friday ahead of placing your fun, entertaining, and responsible bets over on FanDuel Sportsbook? Well, I don't know. Maybe go splash some on Mark Andrews. Hey, Isaiah Likely, how do you do? You're likely to have a good game this week, okay? Mark's line for receiving yards is 37.5. Likely's is 39.5. Mark is plus 150 to score. Isaiah's plus 230. So I'm put it all. This is what I'm doing. I like AJ. I like Devontae. I like Mark. I like Likely. I like all of these the way that these odds-ities are shaping out. We're at a point in our season that it's very clear. It's very clear what is happening, what the splits are. So there are my odds-ities. One day I will get through those the way I'm supposed to. And until then, we're going to keep trying onward and upward to our guy, Michael Pittman, who gets Phillip Rivers back. What did I tell you? We'll talk to him after this. Sorry, Derek. I thought you just didn't hit it. Sometimes it's like, no. I don't hear the music either. So then it's like a very lonely place. No, because then I feel like I'll be like, I'll feel like I'm like screaming on a field. Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's all good.
Zoom is always different. First, yeah.
I never hear. Remember, like I used to be like, why is it silent? Why am I here? Am I on? Am I on? Because in the studio you hear the music. 3 games.
I do have to say one thing. Devontae, just one thing to monitor. If he plays, I still love that he is dealing with a little hamstring issue. So we'll monitor that going forward. But
okay,
if he plays, big day against those Lions. A lot of good history against the Lions for him too. latest on Philip Rivers is he's been killing it at practice, and it looks like he's
Oh,
gonna
really?
play.
Tell me what I need to tell me. Give me my little Rivers update before we bring in Michael.
I've been watching the practice footage. It is he's slinging it. He can throw the ball still.
My friend Karin is somehow at like a bar or something in New Orleans. Hi, Karin. She's watching. We're on somewhere in New Orleans this morning. Hello. Totally. I'm down for whatever. Okay, cool. And I do want to. Okay, perfect. Quick 7. Got it.
But yeah,
I would like to say
Rivers
for Michael,
has been getting the reps. So he's prepping. Like it sounds like Rivers is getting the reps. Like you can read the tea leaves as the week who's getting the significant reps. He's starting.
Just trust me.
Yeah.
I wish I had. If I had if I had a slower week, I would have found all the tweets of people telling me I'm insane that he's gonna start and been petty Murphy, but I don't have time.
The Madden stuff is fun too.
The what? The Madden?
You got all the scoops.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. I think it did. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I wanted to have somebody come and break it down for us, but I could. It was but I think that's. I mean, I'd love to know from people on Twitter. Is that interesting to you guys to find out how they create some of these things, how they decide some of these things when these anomalies happen? I think it would be fun to have the overlords over there.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Do you know what the craziest thing is for, if the Chiefs fans have to watch Philip Rivers take a team into the playoffs, I would be so happy. Yeah. It is such a fun, if they miss the play, and I love the Chiefs, as you know. It's not about the Chiefs, it's about the fans. It would be so satisfying.
A lot of buzz about you guys being underdogs. Do you use that as a battle cry motivation? You tune it out? And do you think that's a sign that you're not getting enough respect yet?
I don't really care. My mom thinks we'll win, so that's all that matters.
Joined now by, look at those beat reporters laughing their heads off. Broncos, Jets, Texans, DB, of course, with the Broncos, and a current Denver radio host. Nick Ferguson, never a dull moment with this squad. They're looking great. Now you got Philip Rivers back in the AFC, which is super fun. A guy that you've of course battled and know, and just as a division opponent, a legend, future Hall of Famer potentially. But I want to get right into these Broncos, and great to see you. They're 2.5-point underdogs against Green Bay. They're at home. You just heard Bo. I heard Sean with the coat speak a little Burnettless. This is the best thing to ever happen to this team, that they're underdogs at home. They're going to be shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, the stadium is going to be electric on Sunday, and it's wild that the Broncos are actually underdogs. And the biggest question here is that a level of disrespect being shown by the national media? I'm going to say absolutely, because when teams look at the Denver Broncos, the national media for that matter, they don't look at this team as being somewhat of a Super Bowl powerhouse. And based on what their defense has done thus far this season, it puts them in that upper echelon. And I have to mention Bo, who had those really hilarious comments about as long as his mom, thinks they're going to win, that's the only thing that matters. I've watched him improve over the weeks, and he's one of the better young quarterbacks at making plays outside the pocket. And I remember telling him this spring, hey, man, listen, you have to continue to do that. You kind of extend yourself and expand the game when you can make plays on the perimeter, and that's something that he's done well, and that's kind of a excellent tool for Sean Payton.
When I see Bo Nix do that, I feel confidence out of him. I need to see that. I need to see some progression out of him this season. And I feel like there was a rough stretch before Thanksgiving, and he's really settled in. They're undefeated at home, by the way, so do with that what you will on FanDuel Sportsbook, given the odds here. But Green Bay does bring Micah. They bring this pass rush. They bring this bravado coming off of a win, squashing the hopes of Chicago in a rivalry at home, right? How could pushing the tempo on offense, something I've talked about a lot this year with them, how can pushing turning it up, making it faster, all of that, how does that help them against Micah?
It speeds things up because it gets the ball out of his hands really quickly. It minimizes the level of thinking that it takes to go through your progressions. You figure out right away, I got to get the ball out of my hands. And just like you, Kay, I've called it the Ricky Bobby offense. Hey, we need to get this guy going because we've seen him, move the ball down the field at a rapid rate, and we've seen it against the New York Giants. And it gives me a lot of hope to say, okay, well, if we speed things up, imagine how much pressure that puts on a defense to be sound and be perfect with everything that they do. But more importantly, it doesn't allow the defense to change their personnel. You get them on the field, you just go. Ricky Bobby, Spider Monkey, Mountain Dew. You call all these particular plays, and now everyone knows in the huddle, okay, well, this is the routes, or these are the keys that I need to do as far as my routes and pass protection.
I feel like we've seen these little bursts out of Harvey, and last week it was him grinding it out, which I needed to see. Like, I needed to see the way that he was carrying the ball and I loved it. A little more emphasis on the run game finally last week, 152 yards on the ground, Nick. Is that something that I will see more of in this game?
Okay, I am hoping that we do. That's one of the things I've been pounding the table for here in Broncos country, the ability to run the ball, because I spend a time around, Kyle Shanahan when I've coached for the 49ers, and obviously I played for Mike Shanahan. That's the staple of what they do. Run the ball to open up the pass. And we've seen, even though it's albeit against the Raiders, that was the most efficient game we've seen for the Denver Broncos offense all season long. And I know there were some doubts when J.K. Dobbins went down. What was going to happen with this run game? And R.J. Harvey, I'm telling you, man, this guy can actually do it all. It's just the fact of, will Coach Payton stay committed to the run game, even if he's experiencing some minus plays?
Ben Powers was back. That's huge. A little nitty gritty for you. But this team has a run game, like you're saying. I think clearly you pounding the table for its work. They were averaging 76.6 rush yards per game, weeks 10 through 13. And now we have this 152 last week. Let's keep it going and maybe hit those overs on FanDuel Sportsbook. I love it. Sean's letting Bo let it loose, which we love. Outside of Cortland, Nick, we've seen the ball sort of spread out in this offense. Are there other guys that you want to see get more involved down the stretch here?
Yes, I'm glad you asked that question. I want to see more freaking Marvin Mims because we know what he can do. And Darren Rizzi talked about it yesterday about Marvin Mims and his capabilities on the special teams side of the ball. But when you talk about explosive plays, this guy can take the top off the defense. And it just seemed as though this year is a repeat of last year, because last year we didn't see a lot of Marvin Mims as far as getting passes. And then he had that explosion, 2 explosive plays against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. I'm like, well, he's capable of doing that same thing. Just give him more plays. Forget these those swing routes and those kind of jet sweeps. No, we need to see Marvin Mims going vertical, because if you put Marvin Mims on one side and Troy Franklin on another, that's an offensive threat that the safeties have to attend for. And if you don't, that's going to be problematic for your defense.
Sean's letting Bo let it loose, spreading the ball. You want more Mims involved. On the other side, I love these two teams. I love the Packers, and LaFleur's doing the same thing with Jordan in the way of trusting him. Obviously, he's got Christian Watson back, Jaden Reed's back. That's why. But he's letting him let it rip, and he's better, and he looks better. And Denver's defense, of course, top 5. Jordan Love is a big test. I'm curious your thoughts on that. Do you agree with that? Is there an area within this Broncos defense that gives Denver a matchup advantage they can exploit this weekend?
Yeah, it does. It starts with the guys up front, Jonathan Cooper, and more importantly, Nick Bonito. When you have guys humming off the edge, it makes life as a defender, that much easier. Then you have Drake Greenlaw, who's been playing great over the past couple of weeks. Alex Singleton is back. But then you think about the Broncos secondary. All those guys are back healthy. You get PS2. It makes things really challenging. And if you are Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator, you can say, well, I can run man, I can run zone, I could be in my bag defensively because I have all my pieces back. So they make it really difficult for opposing offenses to move the ball down the field. But bringing up Jordan Love, I have to go back just for a second and mention what happened a couple of weeks ago against the Commanders and Marcus Mariota. The Broncos are going to face a lot of mobile quarterbacks. So that was preparation for this game because Jordan Love does a great job of moving around in the pocket, and he's great on third down. They're one of the better teams as far as third down and moving the ball and moving the chains. So this is going to be an excellent challenge for the Broncos. The idea is that those guys on the edge, they have to keep him contained and force him to step up in the pocket.
I'm going to ask you a really awful question. You're not going to come on my show ever again. Ready?
Okay.
Your Texans are rolling.
Yeah.
Better defense to win a Super Bowl, Texans or Broncos?
You know what? Right now, I'll say the Texans. And here's the reason why. Because the Texans are forcing turnovers. The Broncos have yet to force any turnovers at a high rate. And right now, I believe they force 15 turnovers. So when you think about turnover differential, I mean, all the signs and trends lead towards the Houston Texans. I mean, you got Danielle Hunter with 11 sacks. You have Will Anderson with 10.5 sacks. Those guys are humming. And oh, by the way, their secondary, they are stingy. They are physical. So there are some mirror images to the Texans and the Broncos. But the thing that set it apart is, can you create turnovers? And the Texans have done it at a high rate. And they've done it against some good quality teams, too, as well.
Yeah, Denver's allowed 250 plus passing yards in 6 games this year. I don't know how much that matters, but just put it out there. Houston's only allowed that once. Of course, you have to think about, who they faced, all of these things, game script, and so on. Phillip Rivers.
I love Phil.
You
That's
faced
great.
Phil. I'm looking.
Yes.
We don't have we were trying to get it to television.
You're trying to get footage?
Listen. You picked him off 19 years ago.
Oh, boy.
19 years ago. This was 2006, week 11, which is 19 years ago. This man is likely starting against Seattle. What are your thoughts?
You know what? As a guy who played in my era, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he gets his opportunity. But I will say, quarterbacks, long snappers, and punters, they're the only guys that get this opportunity. Someone asked me yesterday, they was like, well, could you go out there and play a couple of plays for the Broncos? I said, mentally I could, but physically, no, I can't. But I'm happy for Phil. I hope he has a great day. And here's what happens. If Phillip Rivers goes out and he plays decent, even if they lose, I think teams inside their organizations that are having quarterback issues, they're going to start to think, okay, well, do we need to go and get those 40-year veterans to come back? Because we saw what Joe Flacco did in a small sample size with the Cincinnati Bengals. Yep. So if Phillip goes and he has a decent game, I'm sure there's going to be some head scratches and someone's going to go into the scouting department and say, hey, listen, I know a 45-year-old quarterback who can come in and give us some plays. I mean, we watched Tom Brady do it, right? He was in his 40s. So, I guess 40 is maybe the new 20 now.
Is that a bad thing if that happens?
No, it's not. It's just saying as though, and I totally believe this. There is an over-evaluation of the quarterback position because, most evaluators.
There he goes.
They don't put a lot of emphasis on certain skill set. And a lot of these veteran players, they've been there, they've done that, they've seen so much, and their foot mechanics are all intact because let's be totally honest. We expect Phillip to light it up from a passing standpoint, but he couldn't run when I played against him. And I know he can't run now. It's been like a 5-year layoff. So, this would be great.
So it reminds me, there's this line in this movie called Legally Blonde, and Reese Witherspoon she gets into law school, and she goes, what, like it's hard? And it's this iconic line, and I think that's sort of where we are, where it's like, if you can just be on the couch for 5 years and then get back up and do it, like, what does it mean for that position, I guess? I don't know. We'll see. How do you think it goes before you go with your best guess? How does it go this Seattle defense is no joke.
Yes, it's no joke. And I know Coach McDonald, known as though that Phillip Rivers has been 5 years on the couch. I'm going to blitz him. I'm going to send every blitz at him to see if he can move his feet and if he can get outside on the edge and throw the ball down the field. So if he can survive that, he'll have a decent game.
That is so scary to even think about. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the show, and you're killing it. Congrats on being just like a role model for all these players you're talking to, being like, I can do this at this level after you leave the game. It's incredible. Like, you're really, really insightful. I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nick Ferguson. I was going to play paper, scissors, rock with you, but I think there's a delay and it would have been awkward. But there's another time for that. By the way, you can catch Nick Ferguson's work on KOA 94.1, and you can follow his show on YouTube, or his content rather, at Nick Ferg Show on YouTube, which I think I said. Short break here. We got some K-makers. We got Josh Pate to talk some college ball, a little education for me this morning and you. So we'll get into the weekend smarter, wiser, happier. Let's do it. Yeah, he was great. So easy.
Yeah.
I think we should, hitting
fun.
more in retrospect, more different topics. I think he can talk, I know we had a couple in there still, right? Yeah. We could have left, he was quick. He's like, he's a media guy.
He knows how to operate. Yeah.
He's
a broadcast boot camp.
Broadcaster. Yeah. I know. But he's a broadcaster. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's great. I would like to have him again.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Great job, Cal. I wish we had that footage.
I know.
It hit me, I don't know, in the intro.
It this morning, and
But like you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got you. I think it just puts the emphasis on making those connections before, right? Yeah, because we could have had it. I don't know how that happened. Like, how does that not click before, just in the intro? Philip, like, I just saw him and thought, you've probably had a scrap against him or two. Blitzing him all day long is definitely going to happen.
Yeah. That's going to be something.
Okay. K-makers? Oh, got it. Welcome back to the Up and Adam Show. We've got Josh Pate to talk about college ball in a little bit. Nick Ferguson broke down Broncos, Packers, Phillip Rivers against the Blitz of Seattle. Well, that's okay. He's going to get the ball out quick. He always did. Ba, ba, ba. And he'll probably hit Michael Pittman Jr., who we got to talk to, of course, about what's going on, about his family life, about the Colts, the Magic, Daniel Jones' season-ending injury. It is all here as the Colts, like the hottest team right now to talk about in the NFL, take on Seattle, Week 15. Michael, I talk to you every year, and I'm still somehow shocked that it's your 6th year in the National Football League. What?
I know it flies. And I'm starting with the guy I'm now with the guy I started with. So it's crazy.
Have you seen him? Tell me. Just spit it out.
Yeah. So I haven't seen him yet. I think he was here this morning, but I was kind of in a rush to get in and out of the building, so I wasn't able to really connect with him and talk. But I'm sure that we'll catch up tomorrow.
When you heard this information, what was the first thought that came across your mind?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was definitely a little surprised. But if there is one guy to call who can do something like this, it's definitely him.
Why is that? What do you mean by that?
I just think that the competitor that he is, and like the way that he plays his game and his mind, he can just get you into the right stuff. He likes to get you into the right calls. He knows what the defense is trying to do. And I think we have enough players around him to support. But then again, like, I don't even know what the plan is. Like, I don't know if Riley's playing. I don't know if Phil's playing. I don't know if Brett's playing. Like there's still so much unknown, because, we could bring him in and let him get in shape or whatever they're doing. I mean, I don't
Michael,
know.
you don't seem phased though. You seem like you're like, just let me know who's throwing me the ball and I'm going to keep catching touchdowns.
Oh yeah, no, I think that when it comes down to it, I think you just got to keep rolling. And like a situation like this, like you just can't worry. You can't panic. Just I keep telling myself, no one's coming to save you, so you got to do it yourself.
What's like a fair expectation for Phillip Rivers? Because I romanticize that. He's my favorite player. Loved him on the Chargers. Hall of Famer. Can't wait. I was trying to think. Here's what my thoughts when I heard were amazing. It says a lot about Indy, because he's busy. He likes his life. He's a full life. There's something about that relation with Steichen, of course, something got him to answer the phone for Indy. I thought that says a lot, and to hold Indy in high regard. What is a fair expectation? I just think he's going to Hollywood his thing to the end and go to the Super Bowl. What is fair to ask of Phillip Rivers? Mentally, we know he gets it. What about physically? Your rookie year, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, no, realistically, who knows what Phil is capable of? I'm going to say a Super Bowl. Yeah. That's my realistic expectation, because like we're still in this thing. We are very much alive. So everybody thinks the world is crashing down. We don't see it that way. We have an opportunity to go out there and play some more football games, and we're going to try to make the most of it. Um, and we're just going to keep rolling. You got to roll with the good, the bad. It's unfortunate that we lost Dan the way we did, and how well that he was playing, and just the respect that we have for him, and like the tough guy that he is, the way that he was playing through injury. And one thing that people didn't really take into account is how he still completed the throw after it happened.
Tell me about that. Talk me through that.
Yeah, so we always joke about being tough but Dan might actually be one of the toughest guys I've ever met. Because obviously, like, we're very close. Me, Alec, Tyler Warren, Daniel, Riley Leonard, and a bunch of other guys. But we always joke about like just being tough and who's the toughest, like who's playing through something, and like, just being dumb. But I mean, Dan is up there. Dan is definitely up there. So credit to him and the fight that he has, and he just wanted it so bad, and like I just wanted it for him, and I'm still excited for him because obviously this season for him, it's like it's done, but coming back next year, I think that he laid the foundation to keep growing, and everybody's seen the way that he played and performed, and I think that the future is bright for him.
If Chris Ballard came to you and said, "We're going to let him heal up. Should this be the quarterback of the future? Should we do it?" What would you say?
Yes.
Can you give me like a reason? If he was like, tell me why we should cut this check, marry this man, basically.
Yeah, I think that when you look at the dedication, his day in and day out, the way that he came in and worked, and how much it actually means to him, I think that is enough for us to choose him, but then again, I'm not a GM.
I know Chris is going to be like, "Kay, you idiot, stop asking him questions." Like, I understand. I very much understand. When you saw him after the game, what in the world is that conversation like?
Yeah, I just told him that I appreciate him and everything that he's done for this team, and that we're going to keep on going for him, and that, his journey doesn't end here. And just told him that we're proud of him, and we're going to keep fighting for him.
You're having a great season.
I appreciate it.
I know it's hard. It's like, here we are. It's the holidays. You are smiling with Oral B. We're going to get to that. I love that. But like a new career high in touchdowns this year. What is that? Yeah,
I feel like I've always been pretty good at contested catches and close quarters catches, and this year I feel like our offense has gotten down there more, and that's a credit to everybody, to the offensive line, to Daniel, to JT, to all the rest of our pass catchers. So us being down there more, there's more chances, and just them leaning on me down in that red zone and just having faith in me, and me just not wanting to let them down. So I got to keep doing it. I had an opportunity to make one last week, and I wasn't able to get it done. I got to find ways to be better on that.
You can't get any better with these one-handed grabs. I could not believe this touchdown. You have 7 so far, top 10 in the National Football League. I'm closing my eyes and envisioning, and we'll roll the tape when we air this interview, I promise you, Michael. This Titans grab. Oh, my God. Don't tell me that's not the best catch of your life. How the hell were you able to pin that ball to your body with one hand?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was a great throw. The ball hit me right in that soft spot to where I could kind of just curl it up. So credit to Dan, in the offensive line. And then, it's a perfect throw. Just curled it up, got up, and I was in the end zone. I was like, hey, that's a pretty cool touchdown.
You have the Seahawks next. They have not allowed a touchdown in 2 games. They're very good. You haven't faced Devin Witherspoon, that menace yet. What kind of stuff are they going to hear from Philip?
Oh,
give me a couple sound bites. What are they going to hear from him?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like, I don't know what the plan is. So it could be Riley.
True.
Could like
Good point.
But if it does happen to be Phil, there's, I mean, Phil's lingo is one of a kind.
Hit me with it.
Dadgum for sure is going to come out. I mean, I've heard dadgummit Pitt more times than I can imagine. Like my
Dadgummit Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, I have nightmares about me running the wrong route or being in the wrong spot, and then I just hear it like in my head, "Dadgummit Pitt." And I'm like, "Oh no, I messed up." But so that is his punchline right there, the dadgummit.
Okay, then you need to call your friends at Oral B, and you both can do like a little thing together, because gum, mouth, smile, the whole thing. You are here with Oral B. We can gum it with the official toothbrush, my friend, of the NFL. I hear Blue, good friend of both of ours. He's going to have a new set of teeth thanks to Oral B. What is going on?
Absolutely. So Oral B's coming in here, giving us the perfect clean. You know, it's getting our teeth like all like nice and white with their IO series toothbrush. And you know, like when you get fresh, you play fresh. And that is what we're trying to do on Sunday.
And you are starring in The Creative as one of the feature player ambassadors, showcasing Oral B and how it fits into your daily routine, which we love. You're telling me Philip doesn't even text you?
I mean, like, I don't know what's like if it was top secret, like if it wasn't top
secret. Oh, okay.
So like
he may or may not have got it. In my head, I'm like, how could he have entered the building, been talked about or whatever, and not have texted you? He may have. You just don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember much about anything that happened today.
Okay, great. You were focused on Oral B. I bet you're like, you got a lot going on. You got the Christmas shopping for not 2 kids, but 3 now. You got to get that Oral B in their stockings.
Absolutely. You got to make sure that they got fresh breath and they're not showing up to school without brushing their teeth. So, but
Sayla's 3 months old. I'm not quite sure that she's having to worry about that yet, but eventually. So you're setting a good example with the older two, with Mila and Michael III, right?
Absolutely.
This short game stuff that's going on, you like that? The short routes.
I mean, I like any ball that they throw my way, but I would prefer to stretch the field a little bit.
Right. Because you're saying we're getting down there, but I'm looking at these numbers, 6th most yards among receivers on short routes this year.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a big shift.
I mean, I'll try to get it however I can.
No, bring those air yards up, Philip. Tell him I said that.
Yes.
Great to see you. Congrats on Oral B. Everybody, perfect gift, by the way. Perfect stocking stuffer. Say hello to Blue. Dap up Philip, Riley, and say hi to Dan for me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Great to talk to him. We should say that, of course, as you can tell by watching, we caught up with Michael the day Philip Rivers was in Indianapolis before he ever talked to the media, before he hit the practice field, before Hamilton was named the starter. Like, when's that happening?
I'm refreshing every 5 seconds. Should be any second now.
Here's my demand. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
When it happens, I'd like you to please have the updated Propa shot. I don't want to be tied.
You don't even want to wait till.
No, because it'll be old news. Just do it. It's better now. It really is. I'm actually serious. Okay. Like, I called it. I believed. I have belief in my Charger guy, and I want that. I want to go in as the winner going into next week. Actually, what happened last night? Shit.
We gotta let me see. I don't have the updated score in front of me. Hold on.
Yeah, because then we can't do that because it's like not now. It's fine. Yes, give me one. Can I just have 1 second to do this? We can fit those in. You guys want those ODDS-ities were glaring today. Great job on that. Holy moly!
Thank you.
I'm convinced. I'm buying the timeshare. You could sell me. You could sell me a timeshare on those numbers. Okay. Do you ever have that when did your parents ever like run that scam? We'd go to Florida and like be like 7 people in one room. And like, then we'd like walk down the beach and they'd be like, come do a tour. And then you get 3 nights here. And my parents who like barely know, we'd be eating donuts, but they'd be going on a tour. And I'd feel so bad for these salespeople. Like they're never going to buy this timeshare. We can't even, like, we're barely making it. Like, but then
I don't feel bad for the salespeople. They're
this?
trying to scam, you know.
And then we get like 2 free nights in Daytona Beach for the next Christmas, you know? And then
It's
they come by and
amazing.
they're like, are you interested in buying a timeshare? And I'm like, we're like, no, we're not. We stop at the Welcome Center for the free orange juice. And then we get the Econo Lodge $39.95 to stay and chat. You know, that's what we're getting. We're looking for the coupon. Indoor pool, all you need. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'll do it quick. That was an important thing for me to say. I was having such a great show too.
But,
all right.
But you did hit Baker's touchdowns and you got your Bijan touchdown. So you got 2 out of 3. You missed on the Bucky Irving yards.
What Gronk did.
Gronk got the Baker yards. He got the Bijan rushing yards, but he missed the Bucca. You both went 2 for 3.
So I'm going to be the winner. Welcome back to Up and Adams. You got K-Makers for you for FanDuel Sportsbook. Here we go. This is who will score. By the way, we're crushing. We've hit 4 of the last 6. Okay, let's do this. Travion Henderson, show me that beautiful image. There he is against a Bills defense. They've allowed the most touchdowns to running backs this season. Buffalo. Makes me feel very good about Travion. Okay, next. I need a little bit of that Lions-Rams situation. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm Goff. I like ya. I would like you guys to make the Rams look imperfect. I'd love a win for you here, and I like these plus odds for Amon-Ra. I am taking it. Finally, Phillip Rivers. Let me get Tyler Warren at a monster plus 380. This is my favorite one. When this hits, you will know I'm on my couch jumping up and down. If there's one way you can get after the Seahawks defense, it's with tight ends. They've allowed the 2nd most yards to the position. We know Riv loves his tight ends. I think Warren finds the end zone. Antonio Gates is going to shed a tear somewhere. It's going to be beautiful. Time for Josh Pate. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Okay, he's here, host of Josh Pate's College Football Show, future college football commissioner. It's only a matter of time. Josh Pate, welcome back to Up and Adams. You have been very booked. You were all over my algorithm. Your college madness has infiltrated my NFL world, and I love it. You were on the field calling the altcast of the SEC Championship. Congrats on that. You had your first show with a live audience. Congrats on that. Yeah, I want to start with the college football playoff. Can we look at the bracket here? It's set. I need to know what the first round matchup that you're most looking forward to is.
It's a tie. Oh, no, it's not a tie. That's a cop-out. So the one I'm most looking forward to would be Miami at Texas A&M, because I feel like in the Sunday world, like the NFL viewership would be focused on this game because there are a lot of future Sunday guys on both sides of ball for both teams, to where someone with a lot of future Sunday guys is going to get eliminated in the first round. Really, really good defensive front guys, really good coaching staffs. That one is next Saturday, 11 a.m. Central, noon kickoff. Kind of weird that you have the triple header on Saturday, but just 12 hours before that, I'm going to be at both of these games, by the way. That's why I'm promoting these.
You're so
12 hours before that, and you and I talked about doing the double dip a whole lot, get to as many games as possible. Alabama at Oklahoma. DeBoer has this great record against Kirby up until 5 minutes ago. Sark, he's undefeated against him. Dan Lanning, he's undefeated against him. And yet, very peskily, he is 0-2 against Brent Venables in Oklahoma, and he's going to try and erase that and go on the road. Alabama, controversially, according to some, still in the playoff. So that is the night before on Friday night. That's the primetime game. Looks like mid-40s for kickoff, which just, it could be a lot worse, especially if you look at the forecast for this weekend.
Okay, I'm looking at this. You're saying Alabama on FanDuel Sportsbook, by the way, 1.5 point fades up against Oklahoma. And are you like you're going to somehow make it to both of these games?
I'm doing it. I get 12 hours, Kay. Sometimes I only get like 6 hours in between games. This one's the night before and then the next morning / noon. I'm central. I'm like a central time guy now. So I have to say morning if this game kicks off at noon Eastern.
You're a wild man. JMU, by the way, 21.5 point underdogs, like up against Lanning.
It's been a big fight over here in my world and my little ecosystem about whether those teams should be in or not, and whether them being competitive in the playoffs should be the criteria, whether the minimum strength of schedule they do or don't face should be the criteria. It's been a big fight. I got scars all over me figuratively from fighting this fight this week.
Michigan without a football coach. Most of the coaching dominoes are in place now. Does Michigan have the pull? We've talked about this sort of thing before any of this stuff happened. Can they reel in somebody who's already made their intentions clear to coach another team in 2026? What should it be like?
All right. I don't blame them if they go after Kalen DeBoer at Alabama. And obviously, we just talked about it. He's got a playoff game next Friday night. He may win the national title for all we know and be busy until late January, or maybe he gets eliminated a week from today and they make a run at him. My feel is that they will not land him. My feel is that Kalen DeBoer is not going to leave Alabama. So if I'm right about that, where do they go next? This does not have to be difficult. There is a guy at Arizona State named Kenny Dillingham who has done less with more with that roster, who has been great at developing quarterbacks, who is the proper combination of like really, really fresh, new world, progressive thoughts in football, but also really, really intense. I've kind of been around Kenny a little bit. I've seen him behind the scenes. I've watched him when he coached under Lanning at Oregon, and he fits very, very seamlessly into that kind of culture. But also, man, I love what he would be from a recruiting and talent acquisition standpoint at Michigan. In the old school, K, when you were hiring a college head coach, everybody believed you had to have either coached or played at the program, or you have to be from that part of the country. That is such a bygone philosophy, doubly especially when you have a personality that puts a culture and a staff together as magnetic as Kenny's would be. But the important part, same thing I would have told you about Matt Campbell going from Iowa State to Penn State. Right. These guys, the Matt Campbells and Kenny Dillinghams of the world, have had to bubblegum and paperclip their way to wins from a resource standpoint. They just don't have the money to match the big boys. You drop them in environments like Penn State and perhaps Michigan, where they do have the resources, they don't forget how to evaluate and develop. They just get rocket boosters attached to that philosophy. I think Kenny Dillingham would be an immediate, like, home run, people fall in love with him type hire at Michigan.
I saw just like Luan said that Campbell name, and like, I don't want to say that name because it clearly stirred up quite some drama.
Yeah, we got to be careful. I'm going to get on to him about that. We'll quiet that. We'll silence that. We need to get on the same page about this.
Josh, I like you. I feel like we have a lot in common. Like, you're a mover. You want these kind of problems to deal with. Let's really talk about this. You want to be the commissioner and you wake up and this is on your plate. Let's have a little intervention here. Are you sure? Really think about that for a second.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to mirror you right now.
I don't know either.
Some days I think yes. Some days I think no. But let me hit you. So you serve the ping pong ball over here. Let me bounce it back.
Okay.
And this is a big if I was the commissioner, would we have all these problems?
Oh, snap. That I don't know.
Probably yes. Yes. There's too much mess over here. It really comes down to this. Can I keep my day job? That's contingent on me taking the commissioner's job.
No, you absolutely can't keep your day job.
Well, why is it? Look, this is a world that doesn't even exist right now. So why are there
Lane
rules?
Kiffin of you. Have your cake and eat it too, Pate. Get out of here.
I just don't get what's wrong with it. I don't get why I can't just get everything that I want in life. I don't know,
because you're talking to me about the underdogs of the CFB SLATE. You can't do that. What are you talking about?
You went to a Washington game this year, did you not?
No, I went to a Notre Dame game.
Okay, you strongly considered going to a Washington game this year, right?
Yes, I did. Really, okay. I mean, they're my team.
Yeah,
I'll ask you this.
Obviously.
The Notre Dame. I wish to control them, but I couldn't hear them. I can't hear the control room ever. Trying to make out what somebody's saying at a screaming party across the room. I want to ask you. I went to a Notre Dame game. You were proud of me, and now I'm like, I don't know what to think of this Notre Dame game, and I like their coach, and I wish he went to the Giants. I don't know why the Giants aren't interested in him. I don't know what's happening there. But then there's this, what is the Memorandum of Understanding drama? What do I need to know?
Yeah, it's an acronym that most people didn't even know what it meant in college football until 5 minutes ago, just MOU. So that's the slip of paper you put in your top right drawer that guarantees you something that you've negotiated. And in this case, Notre Dame feels like big hiccup there. Notre Dame feels like they got locked out of the playoff. So the playoff from this point moving forward has this agreement with Notre Dame that most people weren't aware of until recently, that as long as they're in the top 12, or if it expands to 16, as long as they're in the top 16, as long as they're in the whatever size the playoff is numerically, they are guaranteed a playoff spot. So here's what that means. If the rankings were to have gone like they just did, even though the committee flipped Miami and Notre Dame at the 11th hour, as long as Notre Dame's in the top 12, they get a spot. So like Miami would be ranked ahead of Notre Dame, but Notre Dame would still get the spot. And again, if it sounds confusing, ladies and gentlemen, it's because it is. These are the sorts of things that I would love to take a blowtorch to, but I can't because I haven't been elected yet. So that's where we are.
Notre Dame would not like you as commissioner, Mike. Is that clear? Is that fair?
That's not true. That's not true. They would love me because all these other people out here who are anti-Notre Dame, they bang this drum that, oh, Notre Dame should have to join a conference. I actually think the other way. I got a ton of respect for Notre Dame maintaining their independence. I think, truth be told, most of these other programs would love to pull off what Notre Dame has pulled off if they could, but they can't. So I don't get mad at that. I actually have a very soft spot in my heart for Notre Dame. I just think that you got to use the same scale with everyone. And if you get a lot of benefit from being an independent, there's got to be some downside. There's got to be some risk. And their risk this year was if they were in the ACC, they would have gone to a conference championship game. They would have been locked into the playoff, I believe. So they actually paid a price for not being in a conference.
So Pete Bavacqua is pro Josh Pate as commissioner, which I'd love to see. I'm just trying to build your resume here. Very quick. We only have a minute left. Thank you for joining me. I know you're so busy. I really, truly appreciate it. Thanks for partnering with FanDuel until you dump us to be the commissioner. That'll be fun. The Heisman Trophy ceremony is tomorrow here in New York. We've got this Mendoza-like character, and he's a heavy favorite to win the award. Quickly give me why he is so impressive and should be on stage tomorrow night.
All right. I think the way you described him is how he is to most of college football. This Mendoza character, like he just dropped off a FedEx package at your door. It's like, here's what he is. He's a really good player. He came at the right time at Indiana. His odds just surged in the Big Ten championship game. I love Fernando Mendoza. My vote would have been Diego Pavia. Now, Kay, they don't trust me with a Heisman vote. I don't meet the minimum baseline threshold to have a Heisman vote. But if I had one, it would be Diego Pavia. But I strongly think Fernando Mendoza brings it home.
You're the absolute best. And thank you for your time. Thanks for clearing things up and making me smarter. And want everybody watch the Josh Pate Football Show on YouTube. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Safe travels.